My most painful childhood memory was
being forgotten at school.
Being an infant and being left alone.
to get a gun and shoot me.
I used to think of it as like a really bad thing when you don't change.
My most painful childhood memory was always being compared to my sister. My sister's really smart and always up to trying new things, and I was always more relaxed and just doing what I thought was best for myself. But I think especially our parents would always push me to do the same things as my sister, and I always felt really upset that my parents couldn't understand that I had different things I wanted to do. And yeah, it just made me really upset that my parents always compared me to my sister and that I couldn't do my own thing.
Losing parents, death, losing loved ones, losing mother, losing father, being alone. That was the most painful memory and the most traumatic experience to go through. Being an infant and being left alone. I think the power of fear and loneliness, that was one of the most difficult things for me to go through.
Being forgotten at school, that was it. I don't have many, fortunately I don't have many like really bad childhood experiences. So it was a normal childhood for me, like just happy go lucky girl. Yeah.
I do remember, and they were promising, they were hopeful, it was a hopeful conversation, and then all of a sudden, boom, you don't see them again. So this is where this is what shocks a person. It's that one moment you're dreaming and hopeful, and the next, what we call reality or life, speaks something contrary. So that was the experience. I'm trying to elaborate more on the words we shared and what happened.
My best friend that I grew up with in primary school, she and her parents moved to England, and even though I knew they would move, it was very sudden and abrupt, and she lost contact with me and we basically never talk anymore. And I feel really upset about that because I grew up half my life spending like every day with her, and to know that she doesn't reach out to me or she doesn't like contact me even though I try is just really sad to me. And yeah, I wish we could talk more, but it's unfortunately not possible. The nicest thing I have done for myself is to cut out toxic people from my life. I had some really toxic friendships over the past 3-4 years, and some really bad things happened between us, and instead of dwelling on it, I just decided to put it behind me and put myself in a better place. And my goal for this year is to really put myself first and do what's best for me, and not to worry what other people have done to me that made me upset.
It's become more selfless. I think the nicest thing I've ever done for myself is loving others. That's the nicest thing. It's the thing that brought me the most joy, is understanding that love. Waking up to realizing that I am not one, but many.
Like I do for myself is just give myself time to sleep, time to rest. If I'm having a hard time, I always make sure that I always prioritize rest over anything else, always. That I haven't ever changed from high school. So as someone that asked me, like, I asked them like, how am I as a person? They said I've never changed. I thought that was mean at first, but now that I think about it, it doesn't affect me in any way. I used to think of it as like a really bad thing when you don't change. But then that's in terms of like if you're a good person or you do good and you don't change, it doesn't really do much. But if you're a bad person and you say like, oh, you haven't changed, then it does affect you, and if you know that you were a bad person before. So yeah.
So it came from a child because I used to work in a nursery school, and basically a child said to me they would get their parent to get a gun and shoot me, and I just felt really upset in that moment because I did not expect a child to say that to me, and they probably didn't realize the meaning those words had that they said. But yeah, I got really upset with that, and I've never felt like that before.
I think the meanest thing somebody ever said to me is, I hate you. I hate you. And that was, if I should remember, was in primary school. There's this girl who hated me so much, she actually told me, I hate you. I think in that time, her opinion mattered. Being in that age and in the mindset of that age, what she had to say mattered to me. Because I think my understanding of love in that time was limited to the response that someone else would have, regardless of how you feel. It was not a sacrificial, it was more of a consensus, more of your love is more real when others love you back. So in that time, it mattered a lot that she would say, I hate you, because my understanding of mutuality and love was limited to people actually being in agreement.
I think to some extent I would, just because I think it would give me the opportunity to do things that I might have put off, like that I didn't want to do, and I think it would give me the push to pursue some things that I might be scared of doing, and yeah, I think I would want to know.
No, I'd prefer not to know. I think it would be better to live life just, ignorance is bliss. So, you know, it's better to go about your day without knowing certain things. And I think knowing my death day would just be even worse. It would have so much weight on me. I'll just be thinking about it all the time. I wouldn't enjoy my life as much as I would like to.
I think at the level I'm at now, I know when I'm dying. And it doesn't matter today because I know what I need to do. I know what I'm here for. I know what's my purpose. So I think, in conclusion, it's not a question anymore. I have an answer. In the beginning I didn't know, but today it's different. And that question won't make a difference today. My guilty pleasure is not admitting that I'm addicted to coffee, even after 5 or 6 cups in just as short as 3 hours. So that is my guilty pleasure, one of them. I think the closest and the easiest to find in this moment is drinking more coffee than I should. And when people stand against me and tell me you're addicted, I deny it. I act like it's all fine.
I love going out and like, in terms of like just, I like going out a lot and sitting at restaurants myself and eating food on my own. Yeah.
My guilty pleasure, probably this is going to sound really strange, but I'm a huge Formula 1 fan, motorsports. So anytime I feel down, I just go on YouTube or Netflix and I watch anything related to it. It just really lifts my spirits, and it's just not, I think motorsports has a lot to do with adrenaline, and I think that just gives you, like, how do you say, like happy feelings, and watching it is not just about feeling happy, but I learn a lot about it. So I think that's definitely my guilty pleasure, anything with motorsports.